I'm Serene Desiree.
Elliot Red.
And I just had a pot brownie. Elliot's friend has asked him to review his dating profile. And as his friend's girlfriend, I decided to also review it. And I thought I would make a cool video showing, talking about like a woman's perspective on this video. Bounty, $3,500. I'm offering $2,000 US to purchase a woman. No.
Your finest daughter and her horses, all 12 horses that go with her.
Yes, yes.
No.
In all seriousness, I like that you show women early on that you have money. That's really important to us. Okay. In all seriousness, it is.
I'm offering $2,000 USD for someone I end up having a chat with.
I.e. being a legal parent with them, a sperm donation wouldn't count. So...
As in, like, if he becomes a sperm donor and someone else has a kid, but it's not really his kid, it doesn't count.
We're just going to make sure that you don't... We're just going to make sure that you don't take $1,000 and convince a woman to have your sperm and then take the $2,000 as a reward. We don't want that to happen.
So bearing in mind matchmaker fees would be like $1,000, $2,000.
That's true.
A couple more. So it's...
And it shows that you have money, and it shows actually legitimately that you are working as a person.
Initiative.
You're taking initiative in your life to meet the woman of your dreams. I respect that. I respect, because women, we want to see effort. And this shows that you're willing to sacrifice for the perfect family, man. So good. This is cool. And then you know what else you're doing? You have Alton and you have Toli. And they are your friends. They are so dedicated to you that they are going to pay $1,000 and $500 to see you get laid. I mean, those are good friends. Those are really good friends, bro. Like, she sees that you have a loyal crew. And not only that, this guy's going to pay $500 and he doesn't know you that well. Totally, like, you've made such a good first impression on someone that they're willing to fucking give you money to see you get laid. That is actually a strong sign of good character.
Good community?
Good community and a good person. Left we have the romantic outdoorsman. On the right we have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? These are...
Responsible.
Yeah, no, I don't know, responsible. Right also screams, I still live with my mom and I'm 31 years old. Like, my mom still brings me chicken tendies. That's what the one on the right says.
Sandwiches with the crust cut off.
Yeah, my mom still brings me sandwiches with the crust cut off. A lot of dating profiles start with pictures. So I suppose that's important for most people. So here are some pictures. There's a problem with this, because I know that most dating profiles start with pictures. I don't actually need you to tell me that, and it's this screams, I'm still learning to be human, and I don't really understand everything, but I'll follow the rules that I see set out. Okay, so that's a person you're still like trying to consciously figure out the rules of society. That's not what I want to see. Do you understand what I mean there?
Right. An adult doesn't have to... adult doesn't have to justify that they are following the rules. An adult just keeps going, whether they are or aren't following the rules.
And the more rules that we follow, rules are also like social cues. And so I know whether I should shake the hand of or high five my principal, like the principal of my school, or like my boss. I don't like come up to my boss and go, hey man, what's up? You know, so like those are social rules that we follow all the time. And I feel like this indicates that he's still trying to figure out how social rules work.
I'm also into live-in culture. There's a link here, so that means something specific. I think it's an efficient way to get to know someone, to live with them very early on for a predetermined amount of time, with the option to bail out at any point, of course, and none of the usual expectations most people might have about living together. This is not at all needed if you're not into that, it's just an option.
Oh man.
So this is an Ayla thing.
Yeah.
Ayla has started this trend of try living with a person for a bit of, like, we moved in.
Yeah, we moved in day one.
Day one.
Yeah.
So I get it. And also,
We were talking on the phone for a long time.
Yeah.
For 6 weeks, 6 whole weeks, we were talking on the phone, and then we moved in together day one. Yeah.
So there's something here of if I was not a rationalist and I read Living Culture, I'd be like, who is this crazy man? Get out of my life.
Yeah.
But I guess the rationalists are able to take that in stride and be like, that's an interesting idea. Think about it.
You know, some of these things are things that you can have in a conversation with a girl in person, and you can kind of actually just get a feel out of whether she's into living culture, because she'll tell you. And also, like, a predetermined. Okay, here.
If they said like, have you heard of living culture? It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
But that's a conversation you can have on like a 5th date. You know, like you don't need to like immediately.
I think this is living before the 5th date.
Yeah, maybe, but that's a conversation you can have like in person, because you can have like more fun, flowy conversations. Like, hey, are you what are you into? Like, would you ever have a threesome? Like, it's kind of fun to talk about, and you don't need to put it on a form. You're kind of just taking away the magic here, and you're taking away information you're already probably gonna get super early on. And if living culture isn't like die hard, I will not take a girl who doesn't do this, then I probably wouldn't put it on the form. If there's something like, no blue-eyed people ever get away
with lots of weed, because I just look a lot of weed.
Yeah.
That is like, it's got to be in there because it's a must be okay with.
That's for sure.
Must be okay with tattoos because they have them all over my body.
Yeah.
Like, you got to tell people, otherwise they might meet you and go, I didn't sign up for someone covered in tattoos.
I have a kid. If you have a child, just say it in your fucking profile, okay? Like, just tell people will sort automatically.
I'd say so this thing about living culture, the rationalists have an idea of weirdness points, and the idea is that you're allowed to be a little bit weird, right? Everyone's allowed to be a little bit weird. Yeah. But if you spend too many weirdness points, you're out. Like, society will kick you out. You're just too weird.
Well, that's the most autistic thing I've ever I've heard. Autists have like quantified within a statistical measure how likely it is that you will be kicked out of society.
Well, as in, like, you can be a little weird, or you can show up.
I can talk about trains, but I can't touch her boobies. That's what that says.
Too nice.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We'll cut that out.
Right, but there's a number of weirdness points that you can use. Unless you're incredibly wealthy or something, then you can counter it. Like, I'm Jeff Bezos, so I can be extra weird and do whatever I like.
They're like autism, but it's the autism community in disguise is what the rationalist is. I don't get it, man. Like, they're not just autism, it's actually hyper-intelligent autism community.
Oh yeah.
Hyper-intelligent.
Because they're very smart.
Yeah, but so many of you are autistic. Anyway.
I'm pan-romantic, although I experience it differently with males and females. Females.
Females.
Yes.
The females.
I wish this was the default, but I'm not sure it is. But it's obviously important to me that sex be enjoyable by all involved parties.
It's just so hot. It's just so hot.
Help me out here. What do you think he's trying to say?
Why don't you say that to me in the bedroom?
Oh, I try, but you don't listen.
I need you to whisper, sign here, baby.
I'm open to using our own genetic code to create our children. I'm fertile, I've done a spermogram, got a person pregnant through a sperm donation.
Okay, you're just casually mentioning that you're a sperm donor. I mean, okay, fine, but that's kind of a big deal to me.
Okay. Do you remember maybe 10 minutes ago you were like, please say in the dating profile if you have a child?
Yeah.
Maddie has a child.
Yeah, Maddie has a child walking around there. There's a
No,
little
it might not be a child yet, it might be just a pregnancy.
Yeah.
But Maddie, if you are going to get into a relationship with Maddie, you should know that Maddie already has a child.
Yep.
By genetic contact.
He has a child.
That information is way more important than slotting it in the middle here. In brackets, I've done a spermogram, got a person pregnant.
Yep.
Right? That information needs to be highlighted, it needs to be more important.
I would like to see some sort of evidence that you actually care about the human life that you created.
I would also prefer someone that is not at risk of suicide. Right, so I come from a very therapeutically informed perspective. So we're talking therapy, we're talking mental health, we're talking helper professions. And I think the way we need to talk about suicide in the future is something along the lines of, one day you will feel suicidal. Your job on that day is to do nothing other than wait the day out and wait for that feeling to pass. And I think we need to send this message to everyone. We need to especially send it to every teenager and explain to them that, hey, that day is not going to be very fun. It's going to suck. And you know what you have to do? Nothing. You just have to wait for that feeling to pass. Because that's a message that will help people to get through that day and recognize the universality of that experience and clear up the shame of that experience and clear up all of the rubbish so much of the rubbish that comes with that experience. Now, that idea completely conflicts with the idea that you're going to find someone who has never had a moment of suicidality. And especially this line here sends a message, you can't have any mental health problems. Which is basically discounting 100% of the population. Because if you think you have found someone without any mental health problems, they're either lying to you or lying to themselves. So this one line just needs to change. It needs to really be realistic, and it needs to actually do something of use. And I think this line is completely working against everything.
I strongly dislike deny culture where someone says something that I need to deny instead of asking me. I just want to say that's something that you should sort out, because sometimes people who don't want the best for you force you into a deny corner, and then you can oftentimes do things that you didn't really want to do because you didn't want to be rude. And I just want to point that out, that it's great to work on that.
I like someone that says yes to challenges. Finds it fun to sleep naked in a cold forest. We'll do invisible improv and DIY and practical jokes.
This actually
shows character.
Yeah.
This says something about, so there's something, okay, what is it about this section? I think there's, what this section is different, it says I like.
Yeah.
Right? And every other section has these factoids, and this has been much more subjective. I like someone who says yes to challenges. This is you. This is your personality that you can express when you use the phrase, I like someone that says yes to challenges.
I love it because I just imagined that I was doing these things with you.
This paragraph is like, oh, now you're a real person.
You are screening for a very specific type of woman if you write this giant profile that's super detailed. And if that is exactly what you need, a girl who just needs to
I think he's got more flexibility than that, though.
Yeah, I think you do too. I think you could, and some girls don't want to invest that much time into reading a dating profile. It's a lot of investment. So I would find something really short and funny and just makes them visualize having a great time with you.
Here's what I would suggest. Make a list of 3 to 10 women who you kind of would like if stars aligned and reality was a bit different. Then for each of them, think about the qualities. What is it about this person that I like? You know, I like, this one's kind of funny, this one's really warm and friendly, this one is pretty. You know, these are the details that I like about this person. Then take your list of details and imagine they were a person that had all of those details. Right? Then that is the person who needs to read the profile and like the profile. So you are writing the profile for them. You are writing the profile to appeal to them. You are writing the profile that they are going to like. So you need to think about who is that person. And we're talking about this Frankenstein of a handful of your friends or the people who you like. And your profile needs to appeal to them. So you can think about that when you're writing your profile. How do I make it to appeal to my Frankenstein killer?
Yep.
All right. I want to say good luck. I want to say I'm happy to talk more about this. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you seem like a really interesting guy. I wish the best for you.